Hello YouTube and welcome back to another episode of Journal. In the last episode, we stole a snow globe and I felt really bad about it. Keith got with Catherine instead of Anne, and Anne really doesn't like us anymore, and I feel very bad about everything in general. But I'm your host, TheCoolJalapeno, aka Lauren. It is 85 degrees in my house and we are gonna just get along with this story. Today is Sunday, October 11th. By the way, I hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Should be when this goes out, I hope. And let's get on with it. Hey Mom, good morning. Oh, good. Oh, you're up. Good. I need you to come with me to the church today. Church? Why are you going to church? Look, I know this isn't the best time for it. Best time for what? What's going on? Don't panic. It's not what you think it is. Not what? You're scaring me. What? What was that? What was that? No, it's not that. What? What is that? No, what? Today's the anniversary of, well, you know, I can't believe the timing. Oh, I totally forgot, and I didn't even think. I know you don't like going to visit her, but it's important to me. Do I have to? I know it's hard right now, but it would really mean a lot to me if you'd come along too. Say a few words. Okay, I'll do it if it means so much to you. Should drop by and see your father on the way too. He might want to come.
Mum wanted me to visit Grandma's grave and say a few words about how I felt.
Okay. Dad. Have you spoken to Dad? Yeah, I spoke to him yesterday. He seems to be doing okay. Do you think maybe you guys would... Aw. Please don't start this again. I just can't take it right now. Words. So you really want me to say something at Grandma's grave. Okay. If you're struggling or if you don't want to talk, you can always talk to your father. Or you can talk to the priest. Okay. Gonna go. Alright. Well, let's go this way. Maybe talk to Elena. See what's up with her. Hey, Elena. How are you? Fine, I suppose? Probing. You don't sound fine. Do you really care how I feel about anything? Didn't I just ask you? I'm just fed up, alright? I want to be there for you. You're my best friend, but I can't take it anymore. You're fed up with me? I know how bad things have been for you recently, but you're a terrible friend. It's like I don't even know who you are anymore. That's not fair. You've just been so selfish. I know you've got things to deal with, but everyone else does too. Acceptance. I'm sorry. I know I've been pretty wrapped up in my own head lately. It's just been too much for me. You've apologized before, but things don't change. What's the point in saying sorry if you're going to carry on doing it? What do you want me to say? There's nothing you can say. Not at this point. What do you mean, Elena? Nothing. Look, I just need time to think about things. If you don't want to talk about it, I don't know what you expect me to do. I don't expect anything from you anymore. That's the problem. You used to be someone I could rely on. I used to think the same about you. No, to you I was just someone you could pick up and use whenever you felt like it. Come on, Elena. That's hardly the way things were. Maybe it doesn't seem that way to you, but it does to me. So now what? I don't know.
I hadn't realized how bad things had gotten between me and Eleanor. I never expected her to stand up to me like that.
Bye, Elena. Hey, Keith. What's going on? How are you? Been a bit of a crazy ride since I hooked up with Catherine. How so? I don't really know how to explain it. It's kind of weird. She's my first real girlfriend. Catherine keeps talking about how overwhelmed I seem with it all, whatever that means. I'm not sure if being overwhelmed is a good or bad thing. Me either, but hey, she seems to know what's best. I just leave it all to her. Bitter. I'm sure that's good for you, but I don't want to hear all the gory details. Whoa. Alright. Okay, I'm tearing this girl's life apart. Hey, Catherine, hi. How are things? Things are in general are fine. It's the things with Keith and I that are important right now. How is it going? To be completely honest with you, he's a bit of a bore, but that's fine. I love a challenge. After all that work to help you two get together, he's boring? Don't give yourself too much credit. It was gonna happen sooner or later anyway. It's like destiny or something. Petulant. Are you kidding me, Catherine? How many times is this going to happen? Every time I like someone, you have to go out and get them just so I can't. You even had me do your work for you. Whoa! I didn't know that I thought I liked Trevor. Who the fuck am I? I'm just a piece of shit. Hey, Ann. How are you? I don't know what to say. I might not be here much longer. What, why? Are your parents moving away? I got on really well at my old school. I had loads of friends, but it's been really difficult here. Apologetic. I'm sorry. I know that's partly my fault. I made you feel bad, too. I didn't really mean anything by it. I know, I don't hold it against you. I know what it's like. Once someone like Catherine decides you're a target, it's hard to get away from that. Is it really so bad that you need to leave our school? My grades haven't been so great lately. Mom's worried about it, and Dad's angry that I'm slipping. Sorry, I'm sick. But grades aren't everything. I guess not, but I think it might be good for me to get a fresh start, be in a different environment. Yeah, well, I hope things work out better for you wherever you go. Thanks, me too.
Felt weird. Not because we were close or anything, but because I'd never realized how much she hated it here.
I created this monster. It was me who did this. Guess I'll see you later. It's interesting to play a game where the main character is not some by nature good person. This girl has her she has her flaws. She has faults. She stole something it wasn't hers. She just stole it. She's bullied people. She's created rifts between friends. She's not flawless. Hey, okay, where's my dad live? Hey Trevor, you know where my dad lives? How are you? Could be worse, I guess. What does that mean? I don't know. What did you mean by your question? I just wanted to know if you were okay, Trevor. But do you really care what the answer is? Does it actually matter to you? Well, I asked, didn't I? Sure, but that's what people do, isn't it? Constantly ask each other how we're all doing, but we don't really care about the response. If you don't think I care about the answer, why do you think I bothered asking? I think you're just making small talk until you can bring up your own problems. Everyone's like that. That's unfair. We're all too wrapped up in our own problems to remember that everyone else around us has lives too? I'm sorry I asked. Yeah, I'm sorry too, actually. I know that was harsh. What's up with you? Nothing, don't you think it's strange how we interact? Not just you and I, all of us. I suppose. Bye, Trevor, and your existential crisis. Oh. Alright, where's my dad live? Dad. Oh. Wait. Where's Dad live? Hang on. Wait. Where does my dad live? I'm missing something here. Hang on. Are you my dad? Oh! The church! Aha! Hello, priest. Grandma. Today's the anniversary of the day my grandma died. I'm sorry for your loss. Was it very recent? It was a few years ago. My mother just wants me to say something. Contemplation is important, even if it's something you'd rather not think about. Perhaps even more so. Okay, yeah, I suppose so. I don't want to forget her. Exactly. It's important to reflect on those we hold dear, even when they have passed on. I feel like... What is it? I feel like I'm a fraud. Why do you say that? Well, I was really young. When I was really young, my grandma seemed so nice and generous. I used to love visiting her. But things changed as you grew older. Yeah, it was like she was just angry all the time. My parents had to force me to go see her. So it's guilt that you feel, is it? You feel bad because you didn't like her and now she's gone. Complicated. It's more complicated than that. I don't feel bad because she's gone or because I miss her. I feel bad because I don't. It's just like everyone expects me to be upset, and I'm not. I'm not sure I ever will be. Does that make me a bad person? The mere fact that you are here asking me that question tells me you are not a bad person. Then what should I do? You must be honest with yourself, even if it's not as easy as it sounds. But I am being honest with myself. That's why I feel upset. You're honest about your feelings, but perhaps not about why you feel that way. You need to search inside yourself for the reason, the truth about why you stopped loving her. I guess I hadn't really thought about it. I just did. Most people don't examine the reasons for their feelings. The feelings themselves are often so strong they blind us to their root cause. If I can, though, if I can't figure out why I feel like this, what then? Then you must ask yourself, can you forgive her? We are none of us without flaw, and we all need forgiveness at some point in our lives.
Talking to the priest confused me even more than I was already. But it made me realize how guilty I felt that my grandmother's death didn't bother me as much as people expected.
I've been in that situation, where somebody you don't really know passes away. Alright. Not talking about church. Talking about grandma. Alright, Dad. This is my mom, but where's my dad? Dad, do you live in here? Dad, do you live in the sewers? Oh, hey, Dad. Hi. Hi, hon. What brings you all the way over here? Grandma. Did you realize today is the anniversary of Grandma's death? It is? Sorry, honey. I've had so many other things to worry about lately. Mom wants me to say something at her grave. Of course she does. Your mother was always sentimental like that. Sentimental? I mean, I think I understand. I don't want to forget Gran. I suppose so. She was your grandmother. It's good that you care about her. It's just that I don't know what I should say. Can you give me any ideas? I'm not really the right person to ask. Things were difficult between her and I. I remember we used to fight a lot. Mom would get upset about it. I was never good enough for her daughter. It's as simple as that. Did Grandma say that to you? She didn't have to. It was obvious in the way she talked to me, even the way she looked at me. I remember she seemed so nice. When you were little, yes, she softened up for a while, but it didn't take long for her to get back to her old ways. So she was always that way? I mean, before I was born. I thought she just got like that towards the end. She was like that as far as I can remember. Your mother told me she never quite got over losing William. It twisted her. If she was so horrible, why'd we have to keep seeing her? She was family. Look, forget what I said. I should never have gotten into it today of all days. She was still your grandmother, and however it may have seemed, she loved you. Love. I don't know why, but I do miss her sometimes. Maybe because I still remember when I looked forward to seeing her when she was nicer. That's how it should be. When we lose people, it's better to remember the good times. Nobody's perfect, but you shouldn't focus on the bad memories. Okay.
I talked to Dad about Gran.
Sure.
It reminded me that there was a time I cared about her a lot.
And I can understand.
We used to have fun back then.
You should be able to understand. She lost. She lost everything. Alright, bye, Dad. I'm gonna go to the grave. Hang out with my dead grandma. He lives in a nice place. Oh, there's a paperclip in the way. Can't go there. Hey, Grandma. Mom wants me to talk to you, but I don't know what to say. I guess I'm not ready to talk about things yet. I'll come back, though. Okay. Hi, Mom. Words. So you really want me to say words? What do you want me to say? It's just... Look, I'm not asking you to say anything that's not true. Pretend that things were better. I just want you to be honest with yourself and your feelings. Don't worry, I'm not going to listen. Whatever you have to say is just between you and her.
It took me so long to decide what I wanted to say.
Okay. Hi, Grandma. I didn't want to come and talk to you, but it's important to Mom that I do. I guess I'm old enough to be honest with you now. I found it really hard to think of what I wanted to say here. Not all my memories of you are fond or happy. You used to be so nice. I wish I understood better what happened to change that. I guess I was too young to understand that you had your own life and your own problems. I had no idea what you were going through. I remember the first time I properly got in trouble at school. Mom and Dad were both busy at work, so they called you. I can never forget it. The way you marched in and took my side, told them you didn't care what they had said I'd done, that I was a good girl. No one ever stood up for me before. I felt bad because, really, the fight had been my fault, but you didn't seem to mind. Gentle lies or harsh truths? I'm not one for lying. I am one for letting the truth out, but in a sensible way. I mean, realistically, this person is dead. She's talking to a tombstone. She's talking to a piece of concrete. There's no one hearing this, so if it helps her get this off her chest, sure. Tell the truth. So many great memories, but they're not the ones that come to mind when I think of you. I don't want to remember you as a cruel person, but that's what comes to mind when I think of you. The grandma who cared for me feels like a half-remembered dream compared to the one I remember clearly. The one I was scared of. Ever since you died, it's like everyone keeps telling me how sorry they are, how hard it must be for me. Love, love. Despite everything, I still cared about you. What makes this hard, though, is the fact I don't feel bad you're gone. I feel bad because your death hasn't been hard for me. Everyone acts like it should be and it's not. It's like there's something wrong with me because losing my grandmother doesn't hurt. It makes me worry what kind of person I am. Am I always going to be like this? I know it's selfish. It's unfair. I want to be honest with you now, even if I wasn't before. I hope wherever you are now, you're happier, and I hope you can forgive me.
When I spoke at her grave, I tried to tell Gran what I really felt. But I'm not sure if there was any point in doing it. Maybe in the end, it was for my sake and not for hers.
I mean, she's just letting stuff off her chest at this point. There's no one's gonna hear her speaking to the tombstones, her grandma's not gonna hear her and be able to respond. She's dead, she's gone. So, whatever helps you move on is the option I pick. Hey, Mom. Okay, I did it. I said something. Good girl. It is really important to me. I know you didn't always see eye to eye with Grandma, but she was my mother. Do you miss her? Of course I do. More than I can ever put into words. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry, honey. It's not your fault. Life can seem cruel sometimes, I know. I'm gonna go. Bye, Mom. Bye, church. Bye. Hey, Dad. Mom, have you talked to Mom much lately? Of course, we had to talk a lot with everything. What is that? I want to know what's happening. Look, I know it's hard not having us be a proper family in the middle of all this. I thought when you left it would only be for a little while. You said you needed time apart. Yeah, I meant what I said, but, well, it's been a while now. I just don't know if we can go back to being the way we were before. Independence. Right? I guess I can understand why you might want to get away from her. Don't be like that. That's not what I was intending. This is something I'm going to be a little harsh on when I review this game. Then why did you leave? After what happened with John, I just couldn't forgive her. I wanted to, but seeing her every day made that more difficult. So she cheated on him with John. You thought it'd be easier to forgive her if you didn't see her every day? I thought if you loved someone, you could forgive them for anything. That's very hard to say if you have not experienced the feelings that come with somebody cheating. I thought so too, but love is a complicated thing. I couldn't do both, so in the end I had to pick one or the other. I've forgiven your mother, but I can't love her anymore. How can you say that about Mom? That's horrible. We have to be honest about these things, honey. We'd all have been a lot happier if we'd been honest with ourselves sooner. I don't want to lose you, Dad. Don't be silly, you're not going to lose me. I may not be living with you anymore, but I'm still here. You can still see me whenever you want. But what if you get a new family? Then you won't need us anymore. I wouldn't do that to you. Parents who break up, they move on, hun. In fact, I've been seeing someone recently, but it doesn't change how I feel about you. You've got a girlfriend? I wouldn't call her my girlfriend yet. It's still the early days, but her name is Rachel, and we've been spending some time together recently.
I always hoped Dad and Mum would fix things and get back together. I was shocked to realize neither of them were even trying.
John. What happened with John? Please don't ask me about that. I shouldn't even have mentioned it. It's none of my business anymore. Does it have to do something to do with him not visiting anymore? He doesn't? Well, I wouldn't know anything about it. What your mother does is up to her. But what happened? Ask your mother, not me. I think you'd be better off to let the subject drop, though.
Dad let slip that John was involved in his breakup with Mum. He didn't seem to want to tell me why.
I'm gonna head off. Okay, Mom. Today of all days, should I bring up the fact that she's getting a divorce? Is it an option? Rachel, have you heard about this woman Dad is seeing? He told her about you, okay? He said they've gone out a few times. Can't say I'm surprised. She always did pay your father a lot of attention. Are you jealous? Jealous? No, not really. A little hurt, I suppose. Love, don't you want him back so we can be a family? It's not as simple as that. I know it's hard for you to accept, but maybe we just weren't meant for each other. You haven't even tried to fix things. We have. I keep telling you I've tried. I know we've not told you everything, but that's because those things are so complicated. Whose fault is it then? It's both people's fault. I blamed myself for a while. When John and something happened and it upset your father. That's when all this started. What does John have to do with all this? Forget I mentioned him. It wasn't because of John. I know now I hadn't been happy with your father in a long time. I don't think he had been either. Acceptance. Is this why neither of you want to get back together? You can't fix everything. Sometimes you've got to accept when something is over and you can't have it back. So you're okay with him dating Rachel? It hurts seeing him move on so soon, especially after everything we'd been through together. But we both have to move on eventually. And honey, you have to be okay with that.
I was surprised Mum was on Dad's side with this. Neither of them cared about repairing their relationship.
Because sometimes it's just not gonna work. Plain and simple, but I'm gonna go fucking talk to John. John? Hey, Trevor. Hey, you. This guy. John, are you fucking my mom? God damn it. I was talking to my dad earlier, John. Oh, how's he doing? It's been a long time since I saw him. He's got a new girlfriend and I'm not sure how to feel about it. I'm guessing you're not feeling too good, though. Am I on the right track? Is it wrong to feel bad about it? Not at all. He's got to know that bringing someone new into your life isn't something that's easy to accept. I'd wager the reason he told you is that he's looking for your permission. Why would he need my permission? My parents never asked my opinion on anything. After all, they didn't ask my permission to break up. I'm sure it looks that way, but they care about what you think. Nobody thinks this is easy for you right now. I don't want to talk about that. Sorry, I shouldn't have mentioned it. Just this thing that happened with your dad, you should try and see it from his point of view. I tried to, but I just can't. Forget about how it might affect you for a moment. Your dad's not that old. He's got his whole life ahead of him to figure out. He just wants you to let him try. He'll do what he wants to do anyways, no matter what I say. I think you'd be surprised. If you pushed him about it, he'd probably stop seeing her. But surely that's not what you really want.
John told me my dad was looking for my
Of course
permission
not.
to date Rachel. I found it hard to believe Dad cared that much what I thought.
My mom, what happened between you and my mother? Whoa, that's a big pointed question. Mom and Dad won't tell me why they broke up, but I know it had something to do with you. Look, I don't really think we should be talking about this. It's not my place to interfere, especially if your parents have made the decision not to share it with you. Blunt, it's too late for that now. You already did interfere, and now we're not a family anymore because of you. Wow, that's very, 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 really kind of tough to say. I made a mistake and I wish I could take it back. I'm sorry I hurt you and your parents. I never meant for anything like that to happen. It's not been easy for me either. What happened to you? This is a small town. I didn't just lose the two people who were my closest friend, I lost everyone. This is why I'm actually planning on leaving in the new year. Sad. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. It's fine. I've made my own mess, done enough damage. The least I can do is accept the consequences with good grace. I just want things to be the way they were before. We can't always have what we want. And too often, things don't stay the way that we want them. Listen, perhaps you should speak to your dad about all this. I already did. I'm sure, but this time try to listen to what he's saying. Try to think what he's dealing with before you say anything rash.
I may never find out exactly what happened with Mum and John, but it seems like it hurt everyone pretty badly.
I'm gonna go talk to my dad again. Gonna go talk to Dad again, see if I can't hurry this up. These episodes, I try to make them shorter, but this game paces you and it's a little frustrating. Alright, here we go. Hip. Dad. Daddy-o. Can we have a good chit-chat? Hip. Okay. Separation. I talked to Mom and John. I thought you said John didn't visit anymore. He doesn't. I went to see him. So, what do they have to say? They told me that you're looking for my approval with the Rachel thing, that you want to move on with your life. Look, honey, it's not like I'm leaving any of you behind. What about Mom? You've already left her. She's always going to be a part of my life, just not in the same way she was before. What about me? That's different. I will love you forever, and no matter what happens with Rachel, it won't change anything between us. You're my daughter, and you always will be. Then why do you need Rachel as well? Being alone, it's not good for me, honey. You'll understand one day. I mean, look at this place. I'm barely holding things together. And you think Rachel will help you with that? She's been there for me. She's the only thing keeping me together at the moment. Understanding. It's hard, but I get it. I'm glad you found someone who makes you happy. Thank you for understanding. Things are really difficult for all of us right now. It's been a great help to have Rachel around to help me through this.
I told Dad I understood that he had to get on with his life. It hurt, but I want him to be happy.
In the end, that's all that matters. Alright, goodbye, Dad. I remember. My parents didn't have the best relationship when I was growing up as well. Pages! So, they never got divorced, but it was scary to think about, and there were times where it was very, very tough for everybody. But in the end, you just want them to be happy. You might not understand it, because when you're young, you don't understand these things very well. You can't see from a different point of view. You can't see out of another person's eyes as well as you can when you're older. Watch this.
The Man and the Mirror. Marvin was lonely. His friends had harassed him until he'd agreed to come to the carnival, but he'd rather have been at home. Everywhere he went, it was like he could almost see her, but it was never her. She hadn't been there in a long time.
Ah.
He escaped the group as they headed for the roller coaster. His eyes had been caught by something much more mysterious, the Hall of Truth. The old man outside promised that whomever entered would have their truest desires made real before their eyes. Marvin stood in the hall of toy mirrors distorting his shape in unnatural ways and decided this had been a mistake. He tried to leave but found he was lost in an endless maze of mirrors. He was fed up and wanted to go home. Then something in the reflection caught his eye. He was not alone.
That's creepy.
Every mirror showed a moment of revelry between him and his friends. So many good times. He wandered the labyrinth of magic mirrors, desperately seeking the right one, where she was still with him.
Ah.
He awoke to sunlight as the carnival was disassembled around him. His night of searching had led to nothing but exhaustion. The old man who ran the store laughed at Marvin. It's hard, isn't it, to face what we truly need when our minds are clouded with things we want? Marvin went home, unsure if it had all been a dream, and even more unsure of what kind of person he had become.
Wow. Okay. So it looks like there's one more day of this journal, so there will probably be one more episode. These episodes are so stinking long, I wish I could make them shorter, but this game does a very annoying thing where it makes sure that you look at every single thing, and that would be fine if the system worked out better or there was some other kind of indication of what to do next. But I'm gonna just save that for another day. I'm gonna end this episode here because I've been recording for an hour and 10 minutes and I can't record that long. My webcam is lagging, so yeah, it's half a second behind me, and watching myself do something half a second later than I do it is weird. So that's gonna be the end of this episode. Please check out Locked Door Puzzle Games and the Steam store page where you can get this game for about $10 US, all in the description down below if you would like to do that. And if you liked me, then subscribe to the channel and maybe leave me a comment or a like or something. That'd be super cool, but I'm gonna go for today. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Have a fantastic day and run out there wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen, and please stay safe. Much love to your faces. I will see you guys in the next video.